Welcome to Lift Your Leg. This is Monique Anstey from the Naughty Dog in Victoria, BC, author of As a Dog Thinketh.
And Jill Brown from Calgary, Alberta, the bag lady.
And,
To-
and
We're on a roll, man. Today we have a guest with us.
Telah Garwacki from Canine Junction Kennels and Valkyrie Volhunds
Where are you? Where is that?
in Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois. Okay.
Far, far away on the eastern USA. How many days driving? Or how many hours driving?
About 36 hours drive.
You're crazy.
Wow. You did that in how many days?
We left Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. and we arrived here. We did get into Washington on Saturday, good time Saturday, and then we came in Sunday afternoon.
That's pretty good.
Into Victoria. Yeah, it was good. We had good drivers, good group, so it was a lot of fun.
Nice. We need to do something like that, Monique.
Yeah, we do. Let's go there for a trial.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Can we take your car? This week I had my first shadow program. So that is what Telah is here to talk to us about because she was part of it.
What does that entail? What's your shadow program?
Follow me around for a week. But then we also train their dogs every day. It was part of the board and trains. So we get to discuss the pros and cons here right now and things I need to change and adjust because it was my first. So
By following her around, she means chasing her around in the van.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jill is well versed
I-
because she's done this enough.
When you said following me around and then training in the evenings, I'm like, so is there a certificate? Because I've got a few of them coming in.
Got that covered.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Monday to ongoing. So Saturday is the bravery seminar, which is theoretically our last day. And so we had my board and trains all week, and then we trained their dogs during the day, in addition to classes on Monday night. So I was a wimp. I canceled some of my other commitments this week because I figured I'd be too tired. And then got critiqued for it that I shouldn't have.
We wore her out.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So in this program, is it for like trainers that are training other people, or is it for people that want to train their own dog? Do they bring a dog with them? Can they do it just as a person?
Good question. I think I may have been spoilt with this group because these are all quite advanced trainers that came with their own dogs. So
Okay.
most of them were working with other people, but one lady was only interested in her own dog.
Okay.
But all of them have had a good foundation and know what they're doing.
But regardless of your background, you're offering this program to everyone, or do you have specific prerequisites?
Should have good feel and timing with their dogs and be able to play with their dogs, I would say. And probably need to have an understanding of training. Otherwise, a week is going to be way too short.
And I would say wasted time. But yeah, we all came from a little bit different background and then not so different because I do one-on-one training in our facility and have for a number of years. Like I started in 4-H, so at 15, 16, training my dog. And then we had two people that I've introduced more so to dog training. So they've learned under me, but not under me because they have their own dogs and we know how life is that we don't always have time to work with friends and do training. But one is an in-home dog trainer. And so she took away a lot because she is wanting to work with clients and better service her Abby.
Okay.
To better service her clients. She does a lot of in-home training where I work in a facility. I don't do in-home training. And some of that might change a little bit after this week's program, as far as like getting off the property, away and out of my comfort zone too, and out of such a controlled environment, which I think some dogs are definitely going to need. And then Hunter is one of our trainers, but she also works for another, like a rescue facility. They have a large training facility not super far from us. And so she works for them as well in the obedience, agility type stuff. So just a little different background. And then we had Izzy, who is one of my puppy buyers, actually, who has a Swedish Valhund and a border collie, and she competes in obedience and agility. And so all a little bit different backgrounds, different ages, different time invested into training thus far.
But a fun group of friends, so it made it easy.
Great girls trip.
Yeah.
Everybody needs those.
Yes.
When Tila, when you decided to do this, were you hoping to gain information and knowledge in behavior or competition or both, or what was your goal coming?
I think both. I have my Valhund that I do obedience with, and so obviously I want to better understand her and be fair to her. But then I have a baby Malinois, so 8, 9 month old Malinois. And so to also give her good foundation, although she's supposed to be my agility dog, we're just waiting. She's got a little injury going on right now, but we did work some obedience, and she's going to be a fun obedience dog if that's what I choose to do with her.
She's super cute.
She is super cute. As she snaps at me the whole time we heel. But more behavioral. I feel like I was definitely brought up in more so of a correct the bad behavior and not maybe understand the bad behavior. And
Okay.
I wanted to understand it better to help my clients who have aggression issues or reactivity issues or even bravery issues to help overcome some of that.
Absolutely the right place to go then to understand behavior.
Right.
Because you're right, so many people are at one end of the spectrum or the other,
Mm-hmm.
where they're either just ignoring bad behavior and waiting for good behavior to reward it, or they're just correcting everything.
Right.
And
And that
it's
ruins your relationship with your dog.
yeah, and it's
I
nice to see some totally outside of the box ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had the perfect 3 board and trains for them this weekend because I had a pit bull cross Rottweiler who's rude and pushy, strong, but yet soft.
Mm-hmm.
Then a wonderful Mexican rescue that I think every single one of us fell in love with.
Little thing.
He likes to fight, but he's also a lover with many, many opinions, and he's the most charming, endearing, engaging dog. But he's quite complex too, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And then I had an older, not old, but mid-aged German Shepherd female who was quite complicated because it's been hard to tell what was her training and what was her original dog kind of thing.
Okay.
So with her, she's been so well trained that you had to unravel what was really there, and it's been quite hard to do that. So I think you guys all got to see that with me, and it wasn't simple.
Okay.
So they had, I think you had a good example of board and
Mm-hmm.
trains because you had weird, complex, and then
The thug.
thug doughhead. Thug doughhead that's quite sweet.
Agreed. Yeah, it was fun to watch them and see them progress throughout the week. Working with them and just seeing the different reactions and really seeing Monique's technique with each one of them and how it was very different. And then being able to sit and ask questions of what she saw in this circumstance or why she reacted this way or uh, even down to what collar each one is wearing and things like that. So super interesting to
Yep.
observe. And
Did
then
you
just
f-
hands on.
did you find yourself at times thinking that nothing was happening? And
Um,
then after having the chance to talk about the different dogs, realizing that when it looks like she's doing nothing, she's really doing a lot of stuff.
I think we all know and respect Monique enough to know that she's never not doing anything. And so watching her and seeing, oh, maybe it doesn't look like on the outside something's happening, but I will say all 4 of us trainers knew better than that this week. But just to observe her and see and just body posture and even breathing and different things that she was doing to see that, oh, did you see her do this, like she knew it was coming, things like that. Like I said, we all are somewhat familiar with Monique, so I don't
Yeah.
think we ever thought she was doing nothing, but to the outside person, yes, absolutely, it would look like she was doing nothing.
Yep.
And super super interesting.
I wonder what my growl class thinks then.
You're crazy.
Everybody who gets to know Monique knows she's a little crazy.
A little. You have to be a good dog trainer.
Hmm. But I do think that there are a lot of people, and I think you and I have talked about this, Monique, with some of your clients feeling like you haven't done anything with their dog.
Oh, I have big problems with this with some clients. At the end of board and train, they think I've done nothing with their dogs.
Yeah.
And they
And
don't realize that their dog's transformation is on me. It's just at the end of board and train, everything happened to change, but I never did my job.
You never did your and I can vouch for that because we were in growl class and we're walking and keeping the circle moving sort of thing. And I would just randomly walk up to somebody and be like, "So, how's your dog doing? Why are they here?" And they would tell me the problems. And I'm like, "Have you seen improvement?" And they're like, "No." And I'm thinking, they're all running off leash playing right now. How are you not
right?
seeing improvement?
Right? Yeah.
But I was not there on week 1. So I tried not to judge.
Yeah.
Case in point, right there.
Case in
Yeah.
point.
And I do think that if people don't see the change happen, if they're not there to see their dog go from wanting to kill that dog to running off leash with it in half an hour or an hour, I don't think they really realize that that change has happened.
But they were there.
But in growl class, they are
They are
there.
there.
So does that happen like at the beginning of I'm thinking that this might be a 4 week long class and week 1 they're jerks and week 4 they're not. Is this in your 1 hour class you're seeing this change?
Yeah, because week 1 was definitely that way. Like they all were lunging at each other, and then at the end they're off leash together.
In
And
just that one
someone,
hour.
yes, and one
Okay.
of my clients did say to me, "What did we just witness? I don't understand." But then because we haven't yet done neighborhood walks, I think that's their end goal and judgment. So I think in answer to your question, they're saying, no, we haven't seen a difference on neighborhood walks.
Yeah.
But that's next week.
Right. Maybe I didn't clarify my question well enough with them. Did you see a difference in class? Because you're right.
Yeah.
I think they're saying when we take them at home and they're walking on leash, they're still reacting like idiots.
When is your growl class?
Monday nights.
And so this was week 4 out of 12?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe you need to stay to watch next Monday's class.
I think we need to stay for 12 weeks is what.
There you go.
I have a business and a husband and children and puppies at home, 7-week-old puppies.
Oh.
They need me.
The puppies or the children or the husband?
I need the husband and the others need me.
Solid answer.
It's good to be needed.
It is.
I have a question. What did you guys all learn in your week?
Man.
A nice soft question.
Nice soft question. Glad you took that outside. There was a lot learned this week, and I'm actually going to pull up some notes because we did discuss this a little bit because I knew I was the one that was going to be put on the spot, not the other 3. So I put them on the spot at lunch.
Welcome to my world.
Yes, I totally get it. And I love the one comment from Abby, who was the one gal in our group, the in-home trainer. She goes, "I came into the week liking Monique's style of training, but I'm leaving liking Monique as a person." And I thought that was very interesting because she's never met Monique before.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's super sweet. And I just think it's a true like picture of what we went through this week as far as with Monique and our day-to-day was not super stressful, nothing crazy. We did a lot of walking, 6 miles in one day with the board and trains and then another 2 miles just for fun.
Oh yeah.
So I do think that's very true. And just Monique's gentleness and her approach with the dogs, I think it just speaks volumes because she gets the results. And we've all worked with other trainers and not everybody. We said, we're like, you can work with different trainers and you can get results from different trainers and with different methods. But I definitely like the gentle, soft approach with the dogs. And I feel like they enjoy it as well.
Yep.
I'm gentle and soft, Jill.
Whatever. Now you just made Sizzle run off barking because she heard that.
She doesn't always, if the dogs respond properly.
And it's when you watch Monique with a dog, she is it's weird because it's like she can communicate with them.
Yes.
but she also doesn't take garbage from them.
Right.
And if she does need to correct something, the dogs don't take offense to that. They're
No.
like, they actually appreciate the clarity.
Right. And because she has a good, clear relationship with them, then they're able to accept it from her as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that's very lost in pet training is we just want to control the behaviors and we don't actually address the dog's needs. And that was one of the things from this week that we all said we felt like Monique definitely takes the approach on what is appropriate for the dog's mental health versus just correcting a bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Or waiting for a bad behavior. And so that I would agree with that. A quote from Izzy over lunch today was Monique is a lifestyle trainer and your lifestyle is going to dictate your relationship with your dog. And I think that is also very true.
I love that.
Yep.
And one of the gals in our group has a Mally, pent up 5-year-old Malinois intact that just needs to run. And so that was addressed in our group, just like that dog needs to run. And she lives in town with a bunch of dogs that run loose. And so it's just really hard for her to get him out, and also a toddler. So, even just in our own dogs, what they need and require. So super interesting. I will say I work with Matthew Twitty as well. And one of my favorite things when we go and visit Matt is I love pack walking. And I'm always like, what time are you pack walking? We want to go pack walking. And it's so healthy.
Pack walking for Matthew is a different meaning than what it has in Victoria. And it's just him taking his own dogs for a run.
Yes.
Yep.
That kind of pack walking. Yeah. And our dogs.
Yep.
They get to run together and not really interact, but we just get to go walk together and the dogs get to be dogs.
Dogs being dogs, off leash and free.
Yes.
And that's the thing is so many people feel like when you do a pack walk like Matthew does, where dogs are off leash together, they think that that means the dogs should all be playing and rolling around and interacting with each other.
No,
yeah, when I go on a pack walk, like when I come out and Monique and I go and walk all our dogs together, they're all doing their own thing.
Yes.
But they still have the freedom to do all of that
Right.
stuff. We're not expecting nor are we wanting them to be playing and interacting with each other.
Right. We keep moving. It's always moving.
Yep.
With all the border collies and the Malinois and the Swedish Foulhunds all running around like idiots.
Yep.
But yeah, super interesting. And I will say that I just love watching my dogs be dogs. It's endearing. I love it.
It's the best part of dog ownership.
It is.
When you just stated that last quote about the lifestyle, Monique is a lifestyle trainer or something like that.
Yeah.
I think one of Monique's biggest things is that sometimes you have to make changes to your lifestyle. And you had come up with something the other day, Monique, one of the last podcasts we had, that was somewhere along the lines of either make the changes or make excuses.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what you said, but you make the changes to make things happen or you make excuses.
Find a way. And if you don't want it that bad, you'll find an excuse.
That was it.
Yep. Truth.
Yep.
And we all get defeated at times, but you have to dig deep and find a way if you want it.
Yep.
Or admit that you don't and accept that.
And accept the issues that come with it.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, we all go through different seasons with our dogs and families and whatever.
Yeah.
It's not always picture perfect for our dogs, but
mine included. Trust me, it hasn't been a great week.
But you have to make adjustments.
That's part of the process, is questioning and digging deep and then reevaluating and moving forwards. Like, it's not always just onwards and upwards. I wish it was, but it isn't.
We all wish it was, but even me, who's rather lazy, would find that boring if everything just went along its merry way and you didn't have any bumps in the road.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Ready for some smooth sailing.
I have high hopes with my new Valhund. Hush, Jill. Shut up.
Oh my God.
Always. I
Kate,
don't think I've ever had smooth sailing.
This will be the last quiet podcast you Stop.
Cheers, drink up. Telah, get on it.
cheers. Here, that was my beer bottle. Back on
What's the
track.
next? What was the other feedback we got?
Oh man, do you want more?
You got 2, yes.
Okay. So I think this was Hunter and I compounded this one and agreed on it thoroughly. That Monique takes a very holistic, organic, or natural approach to dog training that is very endearing and just so interesting to me because it's not, I don't know, it's not set up. It just is.
Define organic or holistic.
Gosh, you're gonna make it hard on me.
Expand. No, just elaborate on it.
You don't try to make it something it's not. You just deal
Okay.
with the issues at hand in a very normal, natural manner versus trying to set up scenarios. And I just our pack walks out in the neighborhood.
Yep.
That's a very natural, normal approach to it. To just-
Even with Finn having his temper tantrum for
Yeah.
6 minutes,
yeah.
6 minutes and 48 seconds, very loudly.
Oh my.
At the end, it was only 3 minutes and 28 seconds.
What was he all bent out of shape about?
Dogs.
Dogs walked past.
Oh, okay.
But just such a calm everything walking into those experiences with those dogs of slow down, move your hands, make sure your shoulders are slumped, to drop your butt when you're walking. Just super, super interesting because Monique is so in tune with all of the body language that goes into it with the dogs, and even your praise, our praise, my praise, because we
Yes.
talk too much. Shut up and don't talk. It's also one of the lessons.
They may have been told to shut up on more than one occasion.
No, really?
Don't praise them. You wouldn't praise a pedophile. Don't praise your dog for not attacking somebody. That will stick with me every time I praise inappropriately. You wouldn't praise a pedophile, would you?
Oh, we need that on a shirt.
Right?
The naughty dog. You wouldn't praise a pedophile.
Hey, I remember it though. So when the dogs would get done with their little temper tantrums, I'd go, "Good dog," and she'd be like, "That wasn't a good dog." You wouldn't praise a pedophile. I was like, "You're right. You're not wrong for that."
For behaviors that are forbidden, we shouldn't be praising when it stops.
No, you should just expect it not to happen.
It should
Exactly.
just never happen.
Yes, I've
No.
been taught that one myself. It's never been referred to that way. But I love it.
Maybe I was more classy when I was around you, Jill.
Yes, because that happens when you're around me.
Yeah.
But if
Oh.
a behavior is forbidden, we don't praise its absence. It's expected. That's
Yeah.
my point.
Yes.
I
yeah,
don't praise my husband for not cheating on me.
Exactly.
It's expected. of
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
Yeah.
for
And I
sure.
never praise my husband for not driving drunk. It's expected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why he's driving us tonight.
Oh my, where are you?
We're sitting in our house, but we have to go to dinner shortly.
Oh, okay.
Ryan's driving us.
Yes.
Good.
For sure.
Good. Back on track. I think one of the things that's very interesting about Monique is with this training that she does, which is very calm.
Very.
Monique herself is not a very calm person,
It's true.
It is.
but
Totally true.
she can throw that out there to the dogs so that they can pick up on that.
But she's calm when she's training dogs.
But why though? Because I'm so frantic in life. I guess self-taught.
It must
Reggie.
be, because even like I called in one of the dogs and she's calm your voice. And even you are very, when you're with the dog, she's very calm, collected, observant,
Yeah.
in tune with the dogs, I would say. And that was definitely one of the things I admire and would like to have a better approach on, because I don't think about my praise, how that's affecting or could cause
Yeah.
a dog fight amongst these reactive dogs, just because I'm a very high pitched praiser with some of my dogs. And so when I called him, I was like, "Yay, good job." And she's going to do that. Interesting.
It's really I feel like you have to be able to draw a line between your day-to-day stuff with your dogs versus your competition stuff with your dogs.
Yes. Agreed.
And
The
that's
perfect thing to explain this is Mia Skogster. If you're praising a reactive dog, it needs to be driving instructor voice of good boy, turn left, right there, stop now.
Driving
Like
instructor.
it needs to just be so calm and nonchalant of
yeah.
good boy, that's what I wanted. Because any form of excitement will be enough to make them go and finish off the job they wanted to do.
Yep.
What else?
What else?
You've
What else
given
do I
us
have?
3.
We had one today that I think really helped all of us. And this was working our own dogs, not board and trained dogs, was getting into the proper, so this would be competition training more, but getting into the right headspace before training your dog and making sure your brain is where it needs to be. Because our dogs are smart. Some of our dogs are smart. I have some dumb ones too that don't know the difference, but the in tune ones are going to react. And I had one Swedish Valhund that was super sensitive, and she could, even if I had not been around her, but I had maybe had a disagreement or just been a little bit on edge before I worked her, she would just shut down on me. And I'm like, I'm not even mad at you. I came out here to work you to have a good time, but she could just tell I wasn't in the right mindset to work her. And so Monique addressed that today as to maybe put some music on or get yourself in the right headspace before you pull your dog out to work them, because the smart ones will tell on you and they will hold you accountable for it.
Yep.
We can pick on the one example of this, the other remains confidential. But the Izzy, we
Poor Izzy.
I was trying to change her handling in healing because she's very soft and smooth and calm. And she doesn't want soft and smooth and calm in her dog. She wants fiery and animated.
Okay.
So we tried to make her more powerful. So I enlisted Telah to help me. And in the process, I think we just broke how Izzy walked.
She really got into her head then. That was yesterday.
And the more we worked on Izzy, the worse it got. It was terrible.
Oh boy.
So we left yesterday. Okay, let's try it tomorrow. So we had the idea of getting her to heal with another dog. And so then we're like, who? Who do we give her? And I didn't want it to be a Valhund that was little because she has a Valhund. You don't necessarily feel a Valhund because they're tiny.
Huh?
We needed someone like big and powerful that she could feel.
You didn't give her Harry.
How did you know?
Tell me you didn't give her Harry.
We gave her Harry.
Oh, Izzy, I am so sorry. I wouldn't have let that happen if I had been there.
Izzy was a little worried, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because she has a border collie and a Valhund. Is what she normally works.
And she's this soft, darling person.
She is very
Oh
sweet.
my God.
With Harry. And so where Telah and I failed, I'm going to say after 2-3 days of helping her try and get power in her legs and stand up and all the rest of it, Harry literally taught her in 30 seconds.
Uh-huh.
So you could see her with him like melt and look at him and then no. And she fixed it all herself and did everything we've been trying to tell her. And she nailed it.
Because she had to.
Yeah.
Harry wasn't gonna
did.
he wasn't gonna take her nonsense.
And he didn't.
No, he fed off of it when she stammered. He was like, oh.
Huh?
And then when she recollected, she stood up straight. She looked powerful walking next to him, and he looked powerful walking. He looks powerful anyway, but he made Izzy look very powerful, and Izzy's very sweet. And I love you, Izzy, but powerful is maybe not how I would describe your walking.
But we would now.
We would now when she's got Harry next to her.
Yeah. So then we gave her a healing song. We gave her Harry, talked about it, debriefed briefly, then gave her Harry again, got Harry out the building and threw her dog in there next to her. And she did it.
She did it. Little 20-pound Valhund.
Her ankle
Nice.
biter, she remained powerful and she did it.
She did.
It was super. So we were able to change her emotion and how she was walking and how she was feeling. And she was pumped afterwards.
She was. She's like, my heart's racing. I was like, I know. And it was beautiful healing. And the dog was so happy and just powerful for a little guy.
It was beautiful.
Wow.
It was shocking. The difference in her was shocking.
And now that she has experienced that with her own dog, she's going to work harder to keep that.
Yes, absolutely.
And that was what we had said, was she needs to feel it first.
Yeah.
Because once she feels it, she can hold on to that feeling.
Yep.
But until she feels it, she's trying to imagine something she doesn't know what it is.
Yep.
So it was a combination of a healing song and Harry that helped her get it. So think outside the box.
Yep.
Our first 3 days failed to teach her that.
Mm-hmm.
But
For sure.
we pulled it out a hat on the last day, so that was fortunate.
Well, Harry's finally earned his keep.
Oh,
Poor
Jill. He's sucking on his new pink unicorn
Good Lord.
that Rupert tried to murder today.
Hmm.
Harry.
Rupert's allowed to do whatever he wants.
All right. Any others? Or do we move on to the next topic, Telah?
Oh, we can move on, I think.
What do I need to change? I had cancelled day school on Tuesdays, which is where pet dogs come and we train them. And I had cancelled it because I thought they're interested in behavior, and this is more like normal darling pet dogs coming. But apparently, it was an error by canceling it.
I would agree. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I think for me.
Damn you both.
I just wanted out of it. No, she could have got free labor, is the funny part, though.
There you go.
I think for the three of us that actually work with client dogs, I think it would be helpful to see how she interacts with that day-to-day. Like, just these dogs are here for day camp. They're not here for board and train. They don't have aggression issues. They're just here to have fun and learn to have some manners, things like that. And just how she approaches that with them versus a dog that's overly, extremely aggressive or reactive, or our competition dogs that are little, they're our babies, so we let them get away with certain things. I think that would be helpful to see in the day-to-day with pet people. And we did see some of that at classes because we were here for classes on Monday night.
Yep.
On Monday night. So we saw some of that. And so that was helpful. But I think having hands-on where she could put us to work and then correct us. I'm one that learns by doing. And so I was fortunate to get the leash of one of the board and trains and work with them hands-on and be able to give some of the corrections and just feel the tension on the leash and slide your hand down here and do this and do that. And that helps me because that's the type of learner I am.
Right.
Some people are not. Some people learn better from watching or reading. I am not that person.
Telah's helping me teach bravery seminar tomorrow.
Yes. Super excited.
Is it a 1 day or a 2 day?
1. You should come, Jill. Get in your car, start driving.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now would be a good time. 2 beers in. Let's hop in my
Right,
car and start
maybe not.
driving.
What else do I need to tweak?
I don't know. I guess it would depend if they come with their own dogs or not.
You did say you wanted to see the difference. I send my board and trains home on a Thursday with a
yes.
private lesson.
Yes. Yeah.
On Thursday, we work with their people, and then dogs have Friday, Saturday, Sunday at home, and Monday morning they come back. While these my shadow people had seen the dog come on Monday, they didn't have a reference point for what he had been like the week before.
Yes.
So they had mentioned staying and then seeing the dogs come back on a Monday and how I would kind of get them back to point that they were at.
Right. After having a few days off, how they
Because
respond. We saw them on Monday, but we didn't know what they were like on Thursday when they went home.
Right.
So, and I think, go ahead.
They do come back quite differently.
Yes, and seeing the regression over the weekend. And we got to see a little bit of it because we were there for their lesson with their owner, and just how they handled greeting their owners and how they handled with their owners versus how they had handled with us for the couple of days. And so super interesting, but I think that would be helpful. Obviously, to be there for the entire board and train is what would be super helpful, but then that turns into a longer mentorship program. So
Yeah.
Come on over.
Come on over.
Just 5 weeks, whatever.
We can stay for 6 months without having to get any paperwork. We can look into that.
There you go.
I have a bedroom for you and your husband, but your children and 10 dogs might be an issue. No offense to the children. They're wonderful. But
You have another bedroom, but you don't want to put the children in that one.
6 months with my husband sounds great. Can you tell we don't get enough one-on-one time?
quickly change topics. Rob, she's missing you. Can you tell? Good luck, buddy.
Oh man, poor Rob. He's blushing now.
Poor Rob is not blushing.
He is. Guaranteed he is. Have a drink, she says.
I just handed her her glass.
Uh-huh.
All right, what else?
I thought one of the fun comments today, today,
Yeah.
was, and I was not the one working my dog at the time, but I do this, and so I took it to heart, is when we are training and we get distracted and we start a conversation with somebody or start commenting on it versus paying attention to our dogs. And if our dogs had disconnected with us like that, we would correct them. And then we are surprised when our dogs correct us or don't give us their full attention in working. And I feel that because I'm a chatty Cathy with my dog and I get interrupted a lot. And I need to be way better about just being intentional with my dog working time. This is my time to work my dog. Don't talk to me. Don't interrupt me. And don't take it out on my dog. So
I have been faulted by my husband and I think Jill when I've been tracking with my dogs and they've been talking to me from behind me and I haven't even heard them.
That's good. You've tuned it out. I know.
Yeah,
I did some of
yes,
that.
she's tuned it out, so it's good. But then we get chastised for not giving her feedback. We're like, but
And I
we
literally did not hear them.
we're like, but we did 2 minutes back there. We said this, this, and this. I didn't hear
Right.
you. Well,
I get that. So maybe she's taken it to an extreme.
I just don't hear
maybe,
them now.
But for
maybe.
myself, I was convicted on that because I'm like, you know what? I do that. I would correct my dog if they just wandered off and started doing something else. And then I'm surprised when my dog doesn't give me 100% when I just randomly blow them off.
My rule to that is because sometimes we need to talk to someone else while we're working with our dog, but talk to them in the same voice that you're talking to your dog. So don't disconnect and break that connection with your dog. So if I was talking to Jill with Harry, it would be like, Super Harry, Jill, what do we need to do next?
Or
Yeah.
break off the exercise and
Or
get
we
the dog
just wait until we're switching dogs, put one
Yeah.
away, and then discuss what needs to be done.
Right.
Or you need to have someone like Monique who's standing back with a riding crop.
Right.
And then when you start chatting
I'm
with
soft
somebody
and gentle,
else,
remember?
Yes.
That's already been discussed. I'm
That's
soft
with
and
dogs,
gentle.
not people.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah. You get a smack with a riding crop when you disconnect with your dog.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
aren't helping
it's-
my business, Jill.
It's
Mental
happened.
note.
It's happened.
Inside voice, Jill. Inside voice.
You're being recorded.
What did you learn with your own dog? Anything? Maybe not.
My dogs were rough this week because I didn't work my one a whole lot. But I would say that disconnect with my dog is going to help me. Also, the music and listening to music in order to get your rhythm with your competition dog, I think will really help me and help me to enjoy it even more. I love healing. Healing's my favorite exercise. And when you see Fika heal,
I did see her.
I'm not going to lie. I watched her with my dog and I was like, damn, that is a nice working dog. I called my husband and was like, that dog looks super. Why did I agree to this? But no, I think just the relationship stuff. Some stuff with Pyro, my puppy. Her name's Pie when she's being sweet, my little Mally puppy.
Sweet as pie.
Sweet as pie.
Mhm.
It doesn't happen a lot.
When she's on fire, she's Pyro.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
And trying to bite me. But some relationship stuff there too. But she's a baby. We're new in our healing. And really, she's not supposed to be my obedience dog. She's supposed to be an agility dog. We're not as far along in obedience as we would be if it was switched around there, I don't think. But
They're not as far as long as they would be if she wasn't injured for the last 6 months.
yeah, there's that. but we're going to get that looked at Monday. So hopefully we find out, get some answers. Anyway, but yeah, she's a delightful dog. And all of these things, like I said, I came from a background of definitely harsher trainers. One of my first trainers, I had a purely positive one, didn't get me super far. And then I had one that was correct everything with a pinch collar and rough and tough and gruff, that type of training. And then I had a more balanced one. But just trying to get away from some of that with especially my competition dogs, because it just doesn't work with competition dogs. You can't be that extreme. They don't. Not if you want a happy competition dog, and I want a happy.
Yeah.
We're in Northern Illinois. We know what the competition's like there. I want happy, go lucky, beautiful in the ring.
Happy with power, wanting to
Yes.
be there.
And I-
Dogs demanding we work with them.
And I have all Goldens and Border Collies and those breeds to compete with. And some of the best trainers in the country are in the Midwest. And so
Yeah.
that's hard. And I haven't competed very much in the last 5 years because I really haven't had a dog.
Very fair. Once a week.
One of our favorites, all of us girls would agree, our favorites is sitting down and having lunch together. So we would try to time things so that we could work the dogs and then sit and ask questions. And it was phenomenal to just ask Monique questions. What did you see here? What were you thinking? Because we could tell she was thinking. Like I said, we weren't oblivious to the fact that something was going on.
Yeah.
But to actually get her feedback on it and her read on the dogs, super interesting. And I feel very privileged to be able to be here and be able to have those conversations with her, because that's been one of my most favorite parts.
Thank you.
And it's
That's
nice to have
fascinating.
it's nice to have someone who loves to give you the feedback as well.
Yes. And actually has it.
Yes.
There were times,
Yeah.
like with my board and trains this week, because I don't have easy board and trains. I have 3 rather complex dogs. So there were times like I was being asked questions and I just had to say, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yep.
And had to just get in my head and be with the dog. So then afterwards, I needed to explain what was going on or what I was doing. And I'm fortunate that this group was patient enough with me that they understood that and
Yeah.
allowed it. And I don't think more novice people would have been.
That's
I am
that
grateful
would
for that.
that would just be something that you need to point out to people in your shadow program when they come in.
We all
Like-
know I'm so good with communication.
Well, you have
With
Wendy.
dogs.
That's what Wendy's for.
With the dogs, I'm great. They understand.
Exactly.
People, I might be lacking a few instructions along the way.
But I think that's true for a lot of dog trainers.
And I think dog trainers get that and understand that, and then it's easy, but more novice don't necessarily.
Yeah.
Agreed, for sure. But
I had no idea lunch was your favorite.
the Danishes were fantastic too. But no, just to ask questions and just get some insight there.
Yeah.
Just intriguing, just to pick her brain a little bit on different things. And one of the things we talked about was how to make you a stronger handler versus
Stronger handler versus stronger. Hang on. This was Izzy's question. She was talking about powerful and healing versus a powerful handler.
Yes.
Is that right?
I think so.
Sorry, Izzy, if we got it wrong.
It's a few drinks in, Izzy. Yeah, how to be a stronger handler, not a necessarily more powerful
healing.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
to get those things.
So we were talking about what makes you a strong handler. So I was like defining what I would do with like Mr. Pitweiler. And then it turns out she was asking for her healing little Valhund. No, don't do this with her.
Yeah.
And then we backpedaled and explained what she was needing to do, which we still messed up in explanation and fixed today with Harry.
Which, as I say, you need to be able to draw that line between your domestics versus your competition.
Thank you. And there's a giant difference. Sport is sport. So what we do on the weekends for fun is not the same as what we need for what we live with.
Yep.
There's a big difference. But on that note, somebody said something this weekend. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Telah. About, what was your comment about I want to see what your dog's like living in your house.
Well, I was just going to ask that. I'm like, so do you expect different things from your sport dogs in the house on the weekends when you're not working them? Because I do live with 10 dogs.
You have to answer that with Harry in here now.
Oh my God.
He's being a perfect angel.
Yes. Yes, he is tonight.
He is tonight. I mean,
No, this is normal, Joe.
he jumped on the table and grabbed his toy, but not on the
Yeah,
table.
but
just his
her
front feet.
dog jumped on the table 3 times, so she can't comment.
She has end tables. I don't have end tables.
Oh my
She
God.
jumped on that one
The coffee
twice
table?
and then straddled that one to
Oh
be
my
on my
God.
chair.
Yeah, the coffee table. So we do not have coffee tables in our house because our dogs will jump on them. We have ottomans for them to jump on.
Mm-hmm. So they
But
just
like I
think
said,
the coffee table's an
yeah,
ottoman.
we live
Yeah.
with 10 dogs, and I'm not maybe a super detail. I have some clutter, but I feel like I'm a very clean person. We live with 10 dogs and 2 kids. We have stuff in our house, but it's clean. And I don't tolerate a lot of monkey business in my household because I have 10 of them. I can't. Anyway, just interesting to see Harry in the house too. Yeah, but how we treat them when we're actually working them and how we invest in them and give them our full attention when we're working versus in the house where they can't have our full attention all the time.
Did we actually answer your question though? Because right now I only have Harry in here. I don't have
I
everyone
was
else.
just gonna
But
say,
you did see everyone in
Yeah,
here,
they were
didn't
all-
you?
they
You
were all
saw
in here
Johnny
when
and
we
Rupert.
started.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, but Harry gets a specific amount of time in the house by himself.
They were all in here when I first came in. They were being good.
How old?
There's even little Patrick in here.
There's a lamb in here with his eroding testicles that stink.
You do stink. He smells so bad.
What else do we have to say from our week?
It was a fantastic week. We had
Good.
a great time.
So you did 5
Tomorrow will be
days?
fun. Yeah. It's 4 days, and then we did a little bit today because I had to prepare for my seminar tomorrow.
Okay.
But then we have all day tomorrow of bravery.
So what is your typical shadow program going to be?
I actually think I'll keep the same format. So it will be Monday to Thursday, Friday, let me get caught up, with Saturday being a bravery seminar.
Okay.
And then I do love the addition of the following Monday. That works
Yeah.
for that follow up.
I think that would make a huge difference
I do
to be
too.
able to see those dogs that you've worked all week, to be able to
With-
see them again on the Monday.
With the decline and then
Yeah.
how I'm going to fix that decline.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's super useful input.
Yep.
For sure. And one of the things coming in, I do board and trains, and one of the struggles I have had in the departures of them or in the homegoing is they go home and then they regress so much. And so I really like her program of Monday through Thursday. And so they get to regress a little bit at a time versus it being such a huge chunk at a time and then being able to see it. And so that was one of the things I'd asked Monique, how do I better equip my owners to handle these dogs going back into their homes? And so I think we got some ideas and answers on that for our board and trains at our facility.
Very
Good.
cool.
In your shadow program, I think you need to cover the 3 things: the competition, the behavior, and, like we talked about earlier, the day school stuff for people that are just having dogs in for daycare or day school as you do it. So they have an idea of how to deal with those dogs as well.
I hope I covered behavior enough because 2 of my people at the beginning had wanted to understand like dogs' heads more.
Yeah.
And that was, so I knew that going in this week. So it was on my mind. So I hope I covered it enough. But as we all know, with my board and trains, I'm not always the best at explaining. So
That's why lunches are important.
that's why lunches are important.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Where
you
get
have to just be
debrief.
doing your thing so the dogs aren't
Right.
missing out. But then
Yeah.
at lunch you can explain what you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I am very proud to say, like, of my 3 board and trains, my Pitweiler, I made huge progress in week 1. And then week 2, I think we saw a little bit of decline in his huge progress, but I think that's normal. Then my darling Mexican, week 1, he progressed a little. He made a friend, dog friend. And then by week 2, he had 3 dog friends. So that's huge for him because he's never had a friend before. Poor little guy.
He's
And
always
then
had
Miss
to
German,
fight.
Yeah.
he does. Then Miss German Shepherd, she too has never had a friend before. And I can't say she had a friend this week either. However, she had been put with, I think, 3 dogs. I put her with Kate, Pitweiler, and Mexican. So she was now comfortable with 3 dogs in her presence. And I think she was probably the biggest learning curve for people this week. If people were experienced enough to be able to see it, because she was subtle. She was so subtle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm guessing you could see it, but could the other lady see it with Miss Shepherd this week?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they could. Yeah, she just didn't want the boys kept getting themselves into situations and reacting. They made poor choices, let's put it that way. And she was like, I am not getting involved with you boys. You guys are idiots. We've been through this. We're not doing this. And so she would just remove herself from the situation. And it was so interesting to watch. Super subtle. You're on a path and she just moves onto the
Yeah.
rocks. Nope, I'm out. I don't want to deal with it. Just super interesting to watch that. But I think we miss so much of that because we get talking or we get distracted or we're just dealing with the situation at hand, but not really understanding what the dogs are thinking. And I would say she made the most progress.
I think so. I think she made the most progress this week. So by Monday, when she arrived, I was saying, I don't understand this dog. At the end of Monday, I was still saying the same.
Mhm. Yeah.
And by Tuesday, I was like, I've got it. I understand her now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. I made a false attempt to put her in growl class on Monday night, but there wasn't enough time to succeed. So I'd gone to her crate, put her leash on, pulled her out, and they're like, no, go back in. That's as far as she got with growl class. But by next week, I'm excited to be able to put her in growl class. That's my goal for her for next week.
I think
So,
so.
yeah, this is a dog that's never, how do I say this? She's one of those German Shepherds as a puppy that didn't have the most confidence, so was reactive to other dogs, then has had brilliant training to help her handle the other dogs. But the missing piece was teaching her to then be comfortable with other dogs.
Yeah.
So she got the physical training part, but she never got the mental training part. And that's what's missing. So it's been quite sketchy taking her out with other dogs because she's still scared of them at 6 years old or however old she is.
Okay.
But I made headway with that. I finally feel like I've gotten her there and I'm ready. I want growl class to happen now so I can get her out with growl class because that's her missing piece. The technical training has been done to perfection, but her emotions were forgotten.
Super interesting.
I think people need to realize that dogs having, quote, friends doesn't need to mean that they will run and play and wrestle.
Correct.
They just have to have dogs that they're comfortable being around. And to me, that's like saying for Monique and I to be friends, we don't need to be wrestling and throwing each other around in the muddy grass. We're happy to sit down and drink a glass of wine together.
I do want a video of that if it happens.
I have pictures of Monique muddy up to her thighs, but when she fell into the pond.
No.
As Jill is saying this,
But-
all I can hear is that Monique is as antisocial as this German Shepherd, and we have to carefully integrate her into a pack of other humans.
Yes, we just have to have some wine and then everybody's happy to sit around and enjoy each other's company without having to wrestle.
And I compare it to my children. I'm like, I don't expect my children to be friends with everybody. That doesn't mean they can go punch them in the face when they see other children. But
Why
not? But they don't have to be their friends. And same thing with human interaction.
Yeah.
Everybody, I want them to be good around strangers. I'm like, if my child meets somebody at the grocery store, I don't want them to give them their name, address, and social security number.
Yeah.
I want them to be respectful and nod their head, yes, ma'am, no, sir. And
leave.
Yeah.
they don't have to be touched by them. They don't
Yep.
have, and so I think we throw our dogs into situations that are just completely unfair for
Yep.
their development.
Yep. They need to be
And that
taught
has
that they
been
can that they can walk away. Like your kids. If you're
Yes.
uncomfortable, you can walk away from there. The dogs
Yeah.
can do the same thing.
Be
Absolutely.
polite, smile, leave.
Yep.
But with kids and with this dog, we need to teach them to be comfortable there so that they're not
Right.
compressing and
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
And with this dog, that's the piece that was missing.
Yes.
So she can grin and hold it together during that 3-second interaction, but then she was never taught to let it go.
Yep. And
And it
that's
builds and it compresses inside her and then she explodes.
and that's your talent, is teaching them how to do that.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yep.
I was super proud of Miss Shepherd this week. Like so proud of her. Because finally she went from being the weirdo that I didn't quite understand to a dog that I got.
Nice.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah. And she was happy and
She was
content.
happy.
Yeah.
She was happy. She was way less weird.
Yep.
She had her 2 boys, and when they misbehaved, she looked at them like, "Why, brothers, are you being idiots again?" But she looked at them calmly, like rather than a coyote with a full hackles.
Yeah.
She got it. She just switched a little
Yeah,
bit.
she did. Hopefully it continues.
Oh, don't even say that. Hopefully. It
You'll-
must continue. It
will-
must.
It will
It must.
continue. Get the right
Ye-
mindset, right?
You'll see on
Drink some more. She hands me my glass.
you'll see on Monday if it continues.
I won't because I'm taking a week off.
No.
Really?
These ladies tired me out, man. And you're supposed to be coming here. So, yes, I have a week off. Get over. Come on, Jill. Get over
Well,
here.
Dog training to happen here.
Right?
Come on,
My-
Jilly.
My dog
We
has
got a
to
Pippa dog to train,
and we got a Prada dog to train too.
and a Prada, and a Harry,
Harry.
and a Fika.
And Fika doesn't need any training. She just needs to learn how to work with you. Clearly she knows it all.
Okay, fair. You're not helping me in here. Fika's training was shit. I have to fix it all. Way to go, Matty.
Ouch. She asked me who I train with. I'm like,
Oh, I know. My new dog needs proper training, Jill. Come on, get out here.
So you need it to learn to forge? I'm on my way.
Oh, ouch.
He's very good at teaching foraging. That's why.
It's true. Send your lagging dogs to me. I can fix that.
I can fix that.
What else do we need to change my shadow program? Anything else?
Set schedule. I would put a set schedule.
Yeah.
But we're kind of the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much of a set schedule.
It's supposed to be 10. You question on the first day.
Yeah.
If you had come earlier, you just would have got 2 or 3 more hours of hiking.
Yeah. Hey, that would have been fantastic. We loved the hiking and the mountain views.
It's pretty beautiful there, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
So yes, a schedule.
What was your most favorite part?
I liked all of it.
If you had to pick a single thing.
I think she already did.
Did she? What?
I think our lunches and
Yeah.
discussion.
Okay.
I don't. It's hard because it all goes together. So like the favorite day with the board and trains was going to the neighborhood and working them in the neighborhood in a real live environment where things are not controlled. You can't control the dogs that are running off leash and the owners with their doodles and things like that. So
The fence lines, the dogs
fence
running
lines,
them.
the dog just appearing. We came around the corner and there was just a dog there. Things like that. And so just to how to handle those things appropriately in real life time, I think was super helpful, just to get into your head a little bit and how you handle things and how you work. And also we got recognized today at the beach. I didn't tell you this. We went to the beach and we pulled up and we're like, crap, there's somebody else here. And so we're like, maybe she's leaving. And no, she wasn't leaving. She was getting her dog out of the back of the car. And so as she's getting it out, we're like, what is it? And it's a Cavalier. And we get out and she gets out and she's like, I don't know quite how she phrased it because I was the one driving. And she's like, I have a funny question to ask you. Are you guys with Monique? And
Oh, was it Lisa?
I've seen your van around town.
White Was it a white truck?
I don't know. Don't ask me hard questions.
It must be Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
She had her cute little Cavalier in
Yeah.
the back
Yeah,
seat,
yeah,
and
Lisa.
she was working on ignoring other dogs and things. And so anyway, we greeted her on the beach today, but it was funny.
Too funny.
I was like, oh man, it's a small town when they recognize the white van, the rental van with Iowa plates.
You'll all see Lisa tomorrow. She's
Oh,
in Bravery.
perfect.
Yep.
Super
And her
excited.
husband, both.
Super excited. So
Too
yes,
funny.
It was funny, but no, the whole experience has been fantastic. Definitely want to come back. My husband wants to come back to come hang
Excellent.
out with Monique.
Coming out, Rob.
That's right. Do some IGP training and healing and see the beautiful sights.
Cool.
The sunrises are amazing here.
Did you get woken up by the roosters? Oh no, you're not staying at the property.
I'm not
No.
staying. No, we're at an Airbnb.
Yeah.
So, but yes, delightful. For
Good.
Thank you.
Well, I'm
Thanks
glad
so
you
much for
enjoyed it.
talking. Yeah. Thank you, both of you, for talking with us.
All right. I'm going to go have dinner now.
There you go.
You're not going to have a glass of wine?
No.
No.
No. Had enough of that last night.
Thank you so much, ladies, both of you. This was super.
All right. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, Jill.
Bye.
Bye, Jill. Thank you.